Hello everybody, this is Joe from Joe's Barbecue House, and today we're going to do smoked bone-in chicken breasts on the Weber kettles. Okay, what we want to do from here is just go ahead and set up your grill before you start prepping your meat, and it's usually what I do. And just one charcoal basket for this cook. I have a bunch of bone-in chicken breasts that we need to do, so I might have to fire up the other grill. Or actually, I know I'm going to have to fire up the other grill because this thing will be loaded. And what I'm using for smoke today is hickory chunks. I have my lighter cube down in there ready to be lit. I like to ignite some of the wood because it just, to me, it comes out a lot better. Either way, get your drip pan set up, and you don't have to use smoke for this cook. You don't have to at all. I just like a little bit of that extra flavor, and we're going to be cooking at higher temps. We're going to be around 350 degrees for this cook. Everything's going to be indirect, no searing. I'm pretty sure the end results, we will have some nice crispy skin with great flavor. So what we're going to do is go get the chicken breasts set up on the cutting board, get them seasoned up, we'll get them back in the fridge, and we'll come out here and light the grill. Okay, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. What we have here is 6 bone-in, skin-on chicken breasts, and on the right you'll see we have 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I'm going to take the 6 bone-in and put those on the Weber. I'm pretty sure I'll have plenty of room for those monsters, and the other 4 will go on this Weber Summit charcoal grilling station. Our ingredients are pretty simple today. All we're going to use is some garlic pepper seasoned salt, some garlic powder, some Italian seasonings, and some coarse black ground pepper. Very simple. If anyone's curious, the 6 breasts we're going to put on the Weber kettle, the bone-in, skin on, those weigh approximately 8 pounds. And the 4 on the right, the boneless skinless, those weigh approximately 5.5 pounds for all that. Okay, let's go ahead and get these seasoned up. And we're just, you can use your own seasonings, just salt and pepper or whatever you like. This is just what I'm choosing for today. So let's go ahead and get some of this seasoning on here. I'm going to go ahead and put another glove on, and let's go ahead and even this out. Okay, we're going to put these back in the refrigerator, and we shall return very soon. Just for the record, all I did was transfer all of those chicken breasts into a foil pan. This is a large foil pan. And I just topped it off with a little bit of seasonings because I noticed a little bit of water I had on the cutting board was kind of drowning off some of the seasonings. And what I should have done was patted them all dry. That was one step I forgot to do. So if you want to do that, it'll help save on a little bit of seasoning. But what I did, I just put them in this foil pan and just put a light layer of seasoning over the top, as you can see. All right, let's go ahead and light up the charcoal. Let's move this aside. Let's get it lit. And then I'm going to throw a little piece of wood over it, let that catch. while we're waiting for our charcoal to get lit, what we want to do is keep your bottom vent wide open at this stage. Once I close the lid on it, I'm going to put both top and bottom vents halfway and let our temperatures get up to 350 degrees on the gauge on the lid. If anyone was wondering where the boneless skinless breasts were going into, that would be my Weber Summit, which there's a diffuser plate. Once that flame dies out, I'm going to put a diffuser plate over it, and you won't see any of the flame, any of that lump coal in there. It will just be indirect through that whole cook. But I'm still going to keep this one at 350 degrees. It smells absolutely amazing out here. Can't wait to get this show on the road. All right, our charcoals are looking like they're ready to put the lid on. Let's go ahead and do that, and let's get our temperatures up to 350 degrees on the lid. It's been about 15 minutes or so, and we are sitting at 350 degrees on our gauge. The next step is get the chicken on. Let's go ahead and get these lined up on the grill. Okay, to start, we're going to put the thicker part of the meat towards the flame. And what we want to do is set our timer for approximately 20 minutes, and we'll come back out and we'll get a gauge on these to check the internal temps of the chicken. Now let's go ahead and take our boneless, skinless breasts. Let's set these pretty much in the center. We're going to take the fattest part of the meat and we're going to put it towards the back side, because most of your heat comes around that diffuser plate. All right. So we get you a little close up in there. All right, our 20-minute timer is up. So let's go ahead and check these out and let's see what our internal temperatures look like. About 100 degrees. 85. You want to get into the thickest part. About 90. Oops. Get about halfway. Try not to touch the bone. About 85. Let's see here. About 75. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and rotate these for some even cooking. You could go ahead and grab them and just turn them. Okay, what else I want to do is add a couple more chunks on here of the hickory. Maybe one more. These are kind of small slices. There, perfect. And you can leave this little flap thing up. You don't have to close it or nothing. Kind of use this as a guideline here, okay? Where this flap is that's folded over this way. You can use that as a guideline. You really don't want to get any closer to your charcoal tray than what this is. And if I haven't mentioned, this is just one single basket. That's all that is. So let's go ahead and shut our lid. All right, these are the ones that are in the Weber Summit grilling station, and we're going to just go ahead and shut the lid and set our timer for another 20 minutes, and we'll check the internal temps from there. Our total temps we're looking for is 165 degrees. Then we'll pull them and just let them rest for a little bit. Just a little tip for some of you that may not know, but when you add wood chunks to your hot coals, it could ignite and make your pit a lot hotter. So you may have to close your vents, and it will seep on the outside. Your smoke will leak out the lid of your grill, which is fine. You just don't want that barreling smoke coming out of your pit. So just shut your vents down until you're within 3 degrees of your target temperature on your lid, which is 350. And then go ahead and do your open your vent half and half, and it will stabilize. Once you get used to your pit, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Those of you that are experienced with these Weber kettles know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so 40 minutes had went by. Let's get an internal temps on these. 110, 107, 103, probably 107 towards 111, 109, 123, 120. So about 120 on all of them. So what we're going to do is go ahead and set the timer for another 20 minutes and we'll come back and check on these. Let's go ahead and rotate these. I'm getting some really good color on here. Okay, let's go ahead and set that timer for another 20 minutes. All right, these here in the Weber Summit are looking really good. These are the boneless skinless. Let's get an internal temp on these. About 140, about 140. Close to, well, about, let's say it's pretty close to 140, 142. All right, yeah, these here are gonna turn out really nice. I really love this Weber Summit charcoal grilling station because it cooks so evenly and it's just unbelievable. But this thing comes with a hefty price tag at around $2,000. But you get what you pay for. So we are 1 hour into this cook. Let's go ahead and get some internal temp measurement. Get over here. See, we're at 130, 137, 130, 135, 136, 132. All right, so approximately 128, 130 is what we're looking at. Like I said, we're looking for internal temps of 165 degrees internal. So only an hour's went by. This is normal. Normally these take a little bit longer to go, the bone in anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and set the timer for another 20 minutes. And let's go ahead and rotate these. Let me go ahead and get a close-up so you guys can see what's actually going on here. Beautiful color. The color is really looking good on these. All right, let's go get the lid on this and we will reset our timer for an extra 20 minutes. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be close to being done. All right, back to the Weber Summit with the boneless skinless. Let's see what the internal temps are doing here. We're about 160, about 154-ish, about 156, 158. Okay, these here are getting very close. I'm going to say these are only going to take about 5 to 10, maybe 10 more minutes, and these will be ready to put on the cutting board. So 10 minutes had went by. Let's go ahead and check the internal temps on these. So we are at right at 165, 165. I'm very sure these are done. Yeah, these are done. So what we're going to do is pull these, let them rest for approximately 5 minutes, and we're going to cut into these. We still have about another 10 minutes to go on the Weber kettle with the bone-in skinless, which is normal for it to take more time for it to cook. All right, these have been resting for maybe 5 minutes or so, but let's go ahead and cut into one of these, see what they look like. Let's move them aside here. Let's cut right through this. Right here. All right, the moment of truth. Let me get this zoomed in here so you guys get a better look at what we're doing. All right, so these were temped out at 165 degrees and then removed to let rest for 5 minutes. So maybe we could get this in here and get it focused in. Let me do a little setting here. Let's try that. You guys see that moistness coming out of there? Wow, very juicy. It's very nice, moist and tender. Just trying to get this zoomed in so you guys can see this. Very nice and tender. See that? Look at that. Now this is very tender and juicy. So let's go ahead and get a bite. Yeah, I'm going to do a little taste test here. Yeah, you can taste that hickory. Definitely get the paprika in there. Yep, very tender, juicy, loaded with flavor. Okay, so about an hour and a half has went by, and let's go ahead and check these internal temps. Oh man, these things are just pouring with juice. Oops, went down a little too deep. Sorry about that. About 143, 150, 147, 150, 150. All right, I think these things have about another 10 minutes to go. We have not put any extra charcoal. We have not shuffled, I should say, stoked the fire by shaking the grates, because everything's going good. One charcoal basket full of that and those chunks of wood we added. This is great. And look at the color on those. It's awesome. So let's go ahead and close the lid, and let's set our timer for 10 minutes, and let's come back and check these. And keep in mind, the bone-ins are going to take longer to cook. That is absolutely normal. Sorry, my vent was, I hit the vent when I picked up the lid, so it's back to halfway. So we are now at about an hour and 40 minutes into this cook, and I noticed a little decrease in our temperature. Now keep in mind, we have not added any coals. We did add a couple of wood chunks, but we did not add any coals or stoke the fire in any way. But this is fine because we are very close to being done. We're gonna check our internal temps here real soon. Okay, let's check them. So right now we're at about 152. Ooh, that skin is looking good. We're close to well, that was 153. This one is about 146, I should say. 153, 150, 151. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and rotate these one more time. And from here on out, we're gonna leave our vents wide open for this. I'll show you the coals here in a minute. Wow, these things are getting juicy. Very nice color. So it looks like these things might be about in the 2-hour mark before they're done. Let me show you what the coals look like. Well, they're pretty much not quite burnt out, but let's go ahead and stoke it. And what I mean by that is just shaking the basket and let the ashes fall through. All right. I really do think that that's going to be enough to finish off this cook. So let's turn our vents wide open. And let's see if we get this 2-hour cook done with just one charcoal basket full of coals. Go ahead and shake your bottom ash catcher. Just shake it to get the ashes to fall through the bottom, and just keep it wide open. Okay, we put the lid on. All the vents are wide open, and as you can see, our temperature is starting to climb. It's starting to get past 300. It will be up to temp in no time. It may go a little over, but I'm sure it won't go much over 350 degrees with a little bit of coals that are in there. But within about 10 minutes, I'm very sure these things are going to be done. Super tender, super juicy, nice, crispy skin, and I can't wait till the final result. Okay, so we're about the 2-hour mark without adding any coals. We just stoked the fire one time, and we're consistently sitting at about 305 degrees. I'm going to let this go for at least an extra 5 minutes, and we will be back to check the internal temps, and we should be right at our 165 mark. Our skin is definitely crispy, which is good. So even though we're not at our 350 degree mark, which they would have been done by now, but because I want to see how long that charcoal basket will go without adding any coals. Now, being that said, keep in mind that even though we're only at about 300, 305 on the gauge, that we're only looking at 165 degrees internal temps. So our grill temp is definitely a lot higher than our internal temps. So we will definitely, I should say eventually reach the internal temps of 165 degrees here very soon. And once it hits 165 degrees, I'll total up the exact time that it took to have these on for one single Weber charcoal basket full of charcoal, and we will return. All right, so our total cook time has been 2 hours and 15 minutes. And look at the color on these. The skin is nice and crispy. And we're gonna go ahead and tear into one of these and see what we have. I just pulled them off the grill. They've probably been sitting here for about 3 minutes because I was getting the camera set up and all that. So about a 3-minute rest time. You don't really need to let these sit any longer than you have to, because the moisture underneath from the heat will soften the skin and it won't be as crispy. So don't ever wrap these with foil. Don't ever do that, because you will have rubbery skin, because it's just the way it works. Just trust me on this. Let's go ahead and tear into one of these. Let's see what we got. Let me get a nice close-up for you guys. Sorry, I'm just a one-man crew, and I'm gonna try to do the best I can to make this the best experience for you guys. So let's see here. All right, look at that. Now I just shaved off a little end so you can see that it's not dry. Let's see if I can get a nice shot of this so you can see the moist. Oh shit, there goes the skin. Do you hear the crunchiness of that skin? Very good. See if, here, let me see if I get another slice out of here to show you the, oh my God, nice and crispy. Can you guys hear that? Ooh, let me get a little bite. Oh, let me get a little slice out of here for you guys. Golly, I can almost pull this apart. So tender. All right. Okay, let's see if we can get this going on here. You guys see that? The moistness on there? Very tender. Pull apart for the most part. Oh, that skin is so good. All right, hold on guys. I gotta get a paper towel to dry my hands off before I touch my camera. I'll try to zoom in here. Excuse me. Now let's see if I can show you the, hold on, give me a second. Sorry guys, it's starting to get dark out here. Let me move one of my lights over here. Maybe I could get a better, okay, let's see what we got. Pull this apart. Maybe you guys can see. I don't know if you guys can see that sheen in there. Wow, it's so tender. The skin is very crispy. It is very juicy. Maybe I should grab another one. Oh, hold on one second. Not sure if you guys can see that, but nice, tender. There you go. Now I finally got a good shot at it. Nice, tender, juicy, bone-in chicken breast. Great color, crispy skin, and amazing flavor. Could totally get the hickory in there. And the best part about this whole cook is that all it took was one charcoal basket full of charcoal and wood chunks. I should say grilling / smoking is not very hard to do. It's very simple. You just need someone with experience to show you how it's done. And no, I'm not getting a big head over it, but as you can see in my previous videos, every cook I've done, I have not butter coated it. I didn't do anything like that.